Right, very good afternoon to you all. I hope we're all good. It is Wednesday, it's the 20th of December 2023, and we're here to take a look at the chances of snow for the UK in the lead up to Christmas and on the big day itself. Update 8. I can't believe we've been doing this for 8 days. What we're also going to take a look at in this video, and we've got a bit of ground to cover, we're going to take a little look around Europe. We're going to look at tomorrow's wind event. There is a yellow warning in place. We're going to look at those charts, look at those ensembles, and then we're going to finish it off with a little bit of a treat. We're going to look at the charts from the Beast from the East back in 2018. This is what a real snow winter chart should be looking like when we're going on our snow hunt. So without further ado, let's move it all along. So high pressure is to the southwest of the UK, and as I've already mentioned, mild air is starting to push up across the UK. Right, taking a look at those temperature anomalies, Britain is mild today. There is colder air just to the northeast, but that is pushing away. And Scandinavia has started to turn colder again. There was a little bit of a warm up, but yes, the colder air has started to infiltrate. And there's a little disturbance down there just off the Greek islands. And we're going to have a little look at the cameras to check those out. So let's go to a place called Uppsala in Scandinavia. This was yesterday. Things had thawed out. That warmer air had come in from the Atlantic, but as I've mentioned, the cold anomalies have pushed southwards again today, and this was yesterday, and this is today. Winter has returned. Right, down across the Greek islands, it all started very nice this morning. Some lovely clear sunny skies, quite warm temperatures in the mid-teens, but throughout the course of the morning, this little disturbance in the Mediterranean has moved in and the clouds started to increase. Storm clouds gathered, they darkened, and then they become more threatening. And then in the last sort of couple of hours, you've got these lovely mountains in the distance, and then suddenly they've gone. Wall of rain, and I think there's some thunder down there. So that's the exciting weather going on in Europe. Right, we've got some exciting weather to come for the UK, but I don't think really wind should actually be labelled as exciting. So apologies for that. But we will take a look at what's going on. So today it is a rather cloudy day across many parts of the UK. Showers across the west of the UK, more especially across the northern areas. Quite bright down here in the south. I'm doing a time lapse. I think there's quite nice skies. I might share that one later. But yeah, so throughout the course of the day, those showers continue in the far west and the far north of the UK, and then overnight we start to bring down this rain band that will be bringing with it the wind. So we're going to run that forward through to 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, through to 9 o'clock, and then midday. Band of rain accompanied by squally winds. So let's go back now to that Met Office warning. As I said, we've got this Met Office warning in place. It's across many parts of Scotland, northern England, well, many parts of the UK really, apart from central southern England and central southern Wales. So the warning is in effect from midnight tonight through to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. It's generally talking about gusts of 45 to 55 miles an hour in many places, 65 to 70 to the lee of high ground, and potentially gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour in the far northeast of Scotland for a time. So we're going to have a little look at the icon chart to see how they want to play this out. And I think, yeah, the Met Office warnings are pretty reflective of it. So if we start at the beginning of the warning time, which is midnight, most of the trouble is out in the Atlantic at that time. Strong west-northwesterly winds are out at shore, but pushes through to 3 in the morning, and by then the strongest gusts are arriving across the west of the UK, across the well, certainly the western parts of Scotland, and then they transfer across many parts of mainland Scotland by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So quite a difficult commute, I would have thought. Pushes forward to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The worst of the winds would have pushed out of the way from Scotland, most of that going into the North Sea, heading towards Denmark, where they've got their own weather warning for it. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw your attention to the English Pennines. So we've got those winds across Scotland, but we've also got some very, very strong winds showing here on the Pennines, and some of these gusts are looking like, yeah, 70, 73, 74, 75. perhaps even a 77, 78. I'm not sure that's being overplayed, but what I really want to draw to your attention is these cities to the east of high ground. So we're talking places like Sheffield, we're talking places like perhaps Leeds, Bradford, Halifax, those sorts of areas which are just to the east of these high, these high mountains to your west. What tends to happen is as the air descends down the lee side of those slopes, they increase in friction, they dry out, they warm up, but they accelerate. So yeah, just be careful in the morning, and particularly through towards noon tomorrow, of some quite pokey gusts across those cities. Right, back to the search for winter. We're going to take a look at the 850s onset day. So how is this looking? Is it a dead duck? Are we still in with a shout? Things were starting to dwindle yesterday, weren't they? So we're going to go to the 23rd. We're going to take a look at those 850 HPA temperatures and go to midday. And it's been delayed again. The cold air held well to the north, not even touching the mainland now, just reserved for perhaps little bits of Orkney, Shetland, and towards the Faroe Islands. How's it looking on Christmas Eve? Does that cold air advance? Well, a little bit, I guess. Nothing too major though. Those 850s certainly don't appear cold enough. Minus twos, minus ones, and down in the south, well, look at that. You're still very, very mild. These are 850 HPA temperatures. We should be looking at temperatures of -5, not +8. So yeah, a very mild day now on offer for many parts of the UK. Only Scotland now sort of starting to receive some of that cooler air from the northwest. And the big day itself, well, yeah, this is a little bit of a surprise. The cold air does still appear to want to get in, certainly across Shetland, certainly across Orkney, certainly across the northern parts of Scotland, but really not extending as far as the central belt, probably just reserved to the northern half of Scotland. So, yeah, once again, it appears that the signal for cold and snowy weather has once again been reduced, and even on the big day now, uppers of 3, 2s, and 4s are well above where we should be if we were thinking of getting anything in the form of wintry precipitation. So let's have a little look at these ensembles. Is it all over for us? Well, let's have a look at those 850s. Let's go to London. Let's cast our eye along that -5 line. And on the big day now, I don't think any single member touches that -5 line, maybe one or two. So, yeah, we've lost the cold signal for London. Let's go towards Manchester. Manchester, how are you looking? Let's cast our eye along that -5 line. Let's look at the 25th. There's a couple that are around -5, a few later on in the day, one or two go below that, but to all intents and purposes, I think it's probably fair to say that most of those solutions are well above -5, some quite mild solutions. So we've lost the cold signal now for Manchester, although it is a little bit more marginal. Let's go to Inverness and take a look at you guys. Well, yeah, -5. You're still around or below -5. So this has been a consistent signal. There's good clustering. I think it's good agreement for Scotland. I think if I was to be placing a bet for snow on the big day, it would probably be Inverness. I wouldn't be bothering with anywhere else. Right, let's have a little look at these snow spikes, shall we? See what we've got now. So big drum roll for the snow spikes for London. Nothing. Gone. Nicked. Nada. Nothing. Yep, so that's gone. Signal's gone. No snow now at all on offer for London on the big day itself. Let's go to Manchester. Not much is there. One or two very, very minor little spikes. Perhaps a little, odd outlier later on in the day, and one or two sort of later on in the week. But yeah, for the big day itself, that appears to have gone from Manchester. And let's go to Inverness. Well, yeah, I guess you're still in the game up there. There's a few spikes, quite a few, I guess, pointing to, some decent amounts of precipitation. Some of those spikes are looking at maybe 10 to 15 centimetres. So, yeah, definitely a chance of a white Christmas, more especially across the higher ground of central and northern Scotland, and perhaps more especially earlier on in the day. Let's just now take a look at the WX charts for that big day to see how it is now looking. So onset day, the 23rd, that front now comes southwards as it always has done. But whereas we were bringing in cold air before and the purples and the snow showers, we're bringing in rain showers. And on the big day itself, well, there you go. There's your snow chances being shown up across the north of Scotland in the morning. But even there, they die out perhaps a little bit more later on in the day. But for the UK as a whole, it's looking like a mainly dry day, perhaps some showers across the south coast in generally mild temperatures. Where's it all gone wrong? Well, I'll show you what's happened. Let's get no, we won't. I was going to say we'll have a little look at the jet stream, but I think that will probably take me a little bit too much time. Right, let's bring this to a close. I'm going to show you what a good winter chart looks like. This was the 27th of February 2018, the onset of the beast from the east. This is a jet stream you want to see. You want to see the main core of the jet firing away across the south of Europe, across the Mediterranean and North Africa, and you need a secondary arm coming in from the Arctic down across Siberia, Scandinavia, into the UK. That is a proper cold spell. If you want to take a look at what that then does, that very cold air mixes with the warm North Sea and creates huge amounts of convection and brings in snow right across the eastern coast. And although we've been chasing these 850s of -5 or -6 to look at some marginal snow events, this is what a proper snow event looks like. These are deep blues. We should be really looking at -13s, -12s. This is what we got on the onset of the beast from the east. So a completely different, different league, this event, compared to the sort of stuff that we're chasing at the moment. But we've been doing this. It's a bit of fun, and it was because we were trying to pin something down on Christmas Day. Incidentally, the coldest 850s ever recorded in the UK was very close to or slightly below -20, and that was in 1987 when many parts of North Kent received 3 foot of level snow. A thought, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to probably end the snow watches. I think they've been good fun. If something does crop up later in the year or early part of New Year, we'll do it all again. And hopefully we'll be chasing something a little bit more decent, a little bit more meaty, and a little bit more noteworthy. So, yeah, thanks for all watching. Thanks for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. It's been great. And if I don't speak to you before, have a lovely Christmas. Ciao for now.